The concept for the Cinnamon Girl video began when I met with Prince about 2 months before we shot the video. We talked a little bit about politics, a little bit about music, just getting a feel for each other. And then he said he had an idea for a video and he wanted me to take it and run with it, just kind of an open slate.
It's a very strange music video, actually. Like, you know, when you say music video, everyone's like happy and dancing and, you know, there's a little bit of acting. But in this one, there's like no happiness. This girl just keeps like crying and she's sad all the time and her parents are yelling at her and kids are throwing stuff at her.
She begins this video, she's got her friends at school, she's in New York, and she witnesses firsthand this major event, 9/11. If you remember, right after 9/11, there was sort of a vigilante kind of attitude in this country against people who were Middle Eastern. This kind of perpetuated into more and more racism in our world. And Cinnamon Girl kind of exemplifies that.
It's kind of showing you that it can be like a teenage girl and she can be harmed by everything that's going on around her.
Cinnamon Girl. Cinnamon Girl.
Keisha Castle-Hughes, who was in Whale Rider, was a choice that I presented to Prince, and he was like, wow, you know, she's really young. But watching Whale Rider and seeing her face and how much emotion she's able to portray was really the thing that struck me.
When I found out like that he asked me, like, I was really flustered, and I was like, my heart was beating and stuff, because I don't know, it's just like, he's Prince.
Working with Keisha on the set is pretty painless. She's so pro. I mean, she's joking around and laughing, having fun before we do a setup, and then, you know, standby, she clicks into character. Her face brings on this emotion. She's right there.
When my mum first asked me, she's like, oh, yeah, you want to be in a video clip with Prince? She's like, oh, you wouldn't know who Prince is, would you? I'm like, duh. I'm like, everyone. She's like, but he's not from your generation. I go, it doesn't matter. I was like, he's Prince. It doesn't matter what generation he's.
When you're doing a music video, we don't have the luxury of dialogue. It's like shooting a silent film. And at the airport, where she was able to just do that look, and the final scene, her close-up, I mean, it's killer. You can't get that out of just anybody, and Keisha nailed it.
Okay, let's roll video. And camera. Action.
Well, I'm at Paisley Park, and it's my first time here. I didn't have any ideas what it was like, and I got here, it's all funny shaped and it's all purple.
We shot it at Paisley Park. That's Prince's own personal studio. And above you is lights, and around you is a big, ugly green screen.
Well, I have to kind of imagine that there's like all these things behind me, but everything's just bright green. And I have little bits of sets and stuff.
In my mind, I already see the environment. Even though I know it's going to be abstract, I know what kind of color palette and illustrated world this is going to be in. Greg Ruth, the illustrator, he took each of our scenes and he illustrated the scene according to our grid lines that were on the floor. He drew every scene to perspective. It was pretty amazing. And also several layers within each scene. The background watercolor, the distant skyline, the buildings, the tree in the foreground. And with that, we were able to do three-dimensional pushes on each layer of his illustration. And the abstract nature of the whole video, I think, is really nice with this type of story because it's not too literal. If you present it in an abstract illustrated world, you seem to have more flexibility. That's what I've always found with these type of videos and other videos that are made with this kind of subject matter. You do some crazy animated thing like The Simpsons and you can blow stuff up and have nuclear explosions and it's all in fun. But if you do it with real actors and real environments, it gets censored for some reason.
Don't worry, baby. It's gonna be all right. Cinnamon Girl.
When you present somebody a political issue that's done more artistically, more abstract, I think it leaves a lot more for interpretation. I think people are thinking about it. I've been reading some of the blogs and the chat back and forth, and it's great to see completely different opinions on the video. Some people think it's wrong, some people think it makes a statement about our world today. In the end, we leave it kind of open-ended. Perhaps it's her imagination, maybe she had a second thought, but that's, I think, the intention. Let people think about it for a bit.